Wealth isn't built in a single leap. It's built in small, consistent steps that feel almost invisible at first. The first habit that can change the game for you is automating your savings and investments. Think about it. If you rely on willpower alone, life will always get in the way. Bills, social outings, unexpected expenses, they all chip away at your goals. But when you automate, it's like giving your future self a raise every month without thinking twice. Set up your accounts so a portion of every paycheck goes straight into a savings account, retirement fund, or investment. You don't touch it. You don't stress over it, and yet every month your wealth quietly grows. Automation is the secret weapon most people ignore because it's invisible, but invisible habits compound faster than flashy splurges ever will. The second habit is tracking every dollar you spend. This isn't about guilt or making life miserable. It's about clarity. When you know exactly where your money goes, you regain control. You can see the leaks, the small recurring expenses that quietly add up to thousands per year. You can then redirect those dollars toward investments, debt repayment, or opportunities that actually build wealth. It might feel tedious at first, but it's the most powerful habit to develop. Awareness leads to smarter choices, and smarter choices lead to financial freedom. People underestimate the power of knowledge. They spend blindly, wondering why they never get ahead. Tracking your money is how you stop guessing and start owning your financial story. The third habit is prioritizing high-value financial moves over instant gratification. This is where mindset meets strategy. Every day, you're bombarded with temptations, the newest gadget, a weekend getaway, dinner out. None of these are inherently bad, but they add up if you prioritize them over moves that grow wealth, like investing, building a side business, or paying down high-interest debt. The wealthy understand delayed gratification isn't deprivation, it's leverage. You're not saying no to life. You're saying yes to the bigger picture. Choosing financial wins today over fleeting pleasure tomorrow is the habit that separates those who dream about wealth from those who actually live it. And here's the kicker: combine these three habits, and the results are exponential. Automate your money, track every dollar, and make high-value choices consistently. Over time, your wealth doesn't just grow, it accelerates. Money works for you, stress drops, and opportunities multiply. It's not magic. It's simple, practical, and accessible to anyone willing to take control. Start with these habits, stick with them, and watch as building wealth becomes not just easier, but inevitable. Most people think saving money is about discipline, about forcing themselves to put aside cash every month. The reality is, discipline alone rarely works because life is unpredictable and temptations are everywhere. You wake up with the intention to save, but by the time bills are paid, dinner is out, and random expenses pop up, there's nothing left. That's why automation is a game changer. When you automate your savings and investments, you remove the need to rely on willpower. You create a system where money moves for you, instead of you having to constantly make decisions about it. Imagine setting up an account so that a fixed percentage of your paycheck goes directly into a savings account, retirement plan, or investment vehicle the moment your income hits your account. You don't touch it, you don't think about it, and yet, each month, your wealth quietly grows. That is the beauty of automation. It's invisible, but it's powerful. It turns consistent action into a habit that compounds over time. People often underestimate how small, consistent actions build wealth. Think about it: even 10% of your paycheck automatically saved and invested each month, growing over years, will result in a sum much larger than occasional bursts of, "I'll save more this month." Thinking. Automation also prevents you from spending what you don't see. When money sits in your checking account, it's easy to justify spending it. But when it's already out of sight and working for you, it's almost impossible to miss, and the compounding effect starts immediately. Beyond just savings, automation can apply to investments too. Setting up recurring contributions to stocks, ETFs, or retirement accounts ensures that you're consistently participating in the market without having to time it. Over decades, this simple approach often beats trying to get rich quick because it avoids emotional decision making and keeps your money growing steadily. Another hidden benefit of automation is stress reduction. You no longer have to track whether you saved enough or worry about making the right move each month. Your system handles it for you. You gain peace of mind, confidence, and the quiet reassurance that you're building a future without constantly thinking about it. Many people delay saving because they feel they don't have enough, but automation allows you to start small. Even $50 a month, automatically deducted and invested, begins the habit of consistently putting money toward your goals. Over time, you can increase it as income grows. It also fosters a mindset shift. Instead of asking, "Can I afford to save?" you start thinking, "I pay myself first," making wealth creation a priority, not an afterthought. This habit compounds both financially and mentally. You stop relying on motivation alone, which is fleeting, and instead create a reliable system that moves your money strategically. Automation is the ultimate leverage. You're making your money work for you while freeing yourself from constant financial stress. The more you automate early, the faster your wealth grows and the less you have to worry about missed opportunities or overspending. Most people have no idea where their money goes. They earn a paycheck, spend it, and then wonder why they never seem to get ahead. The truth is, building wealth isn't just about how much you make. It's about knowing exactly where every dollar flows. Tracking your spending gives you clarity, control, and the power to make intentional financial decisions. It sounds simple, but few actually do it consistently. Most people rely on memory or guesswork, which leads to wasted money and missed opportunities. When you take the time to see every transaction, every subscription, every coffee, and every impulse buy, patterns start to emerge. Suddenly, you realize the small leaks in your budget that quietly add up to hundreds or even thousands of dollars per month. Awareness is the first step toward control, and control is where wealth begins. Tracking every dollar isn't about restricting yourself or feeling guilty for spending. It's about empowerment. Once you know exactly where your money goes, you can redirect it toward what really matters: investments, savings, or debt repayment. It's about making your money work for you, rather than being enslaved by it. Most people think they're in control because they have a budget, but budgets on paper are useless if you don't actually track spending. The most effective strategy is to record every single expense, no matter how small, and review it regularly. Apps make this easier than ever, but even a simple spreadsheet or notebook works. The point is to create awareness. Once you have a clear picture, you can start making smarter decisions. You might discover that the $5 coffee every morning adds up to $150 per month, or that multiple streaming subscriptions aren't being used and can be canceled. Small changes like these don't feel life-changing at first, but over months and years, they create a massive difference in your financial trajectory. Tracking also builds accountability. When you see your spending habits in black and white, it becomes easier to identify emotional or impulsive purchases. Many people spend mindlessly when stressed, bored, or socializing, and tracking forces them to pause and evaluate their choices. It's like shining a flashlight on your financial life. Nothing hides. Nothing is forgotten. Over time, this habit teaches discipline without feeling restrictive. You start thinking ahead about every purchase, weighing whether it truly aligns with your long-term goals. Additionally, tracking allows you to plan strategically. Once you know your patterns, you can create automated systems for savings and investments that actually work. You can allocate money more efficiently, cut unnecessary costs, and invest in opportunities that build real wealth. Finally, tracking spending is not just about the money you save today. It's about training your brain to think like a wealthy person. Wealthy individuals aren't lucky, they are aware. They monitor, measure, and adjust consistently. By tracking every dollar, you step into that mindset, gaining both insight and control over your financial future. Your decisions become intentional, your spending becomes purposeful, and over time, your wealth compounds faster than you ever imagined. One of the biggest obstacles to building wealth isn't a low income or lack of opportunities. It's the tendency to prioritize instant gratification over long-term financial wins. Every day, we are surrounded by temptations, the newest gadgets, fancy dinners, spontaneous trips, or the must-have clothing items. None of these are inherently bad, but when you consistently choose them over moves that actually build wealth, progress stalls. High value financial moves, investing in the stock market, funding a retirement account, paying down high interest debt, or starting a side hustle may not give the immediate thrill of a new purchase, but their impact compounds over time. The key is training your mind to see beyond temporary pleasure and focus on actions that create lasting financial security. Most people get caught in the trap of, "I'll start saving later," or "I deserve this now." And while that mindset feels good in the moment, it silently erodes future wealth. By prioritizing high-value moves, you shift the balance from fleeting satisfaction to long-term growth, and that's where real financial power lies. Delaying gratification doesn't mean you never enjoy life. It means making conscious choices about what truly matters. Wealth is built by consistently making decisions that improve your financial position, even if they feel small or uncomfortable today. For instance, instead of spending $300 on a weekend getaway, you could invest that same money in an index fund that, with compound growth, may be worth thousands in a few years. It's not about deprivation, it's about leverage. You're essentially trading a brief moment of pleasure for years of financial freedom. This mindset separates those who accumulate wealth from those who stay stuck in the cycle of paycheck to paycheck living. It also encourages patience, which is one of the most underrated qualities for financial success. The ability to wait, plan, and invest wisely allows your money to work for you rather than the other way around. Another aspect of prioritizing high-value moves is learning to evaluate opportunities critically. Not all financial decisions are equal. Paying off high-interest debt has a guaranteed return that few investments can match. Funding a retirement account early takes advantage of decades of compounding. Investing in skills or a side business increases your earning potential over time. By focusing on moves that yield the highest return, you maximize the efficiency of every dollar. This doesn't just accelerate wealth, it reduces stress, builds confidence, and fosters a proactive mindset. People who focus on instant gratification are reactive. They chase trends, impulse purchases, or temporary highs. Those who prioritize high-value financial moves are strategic. They anticipate growth, plan ahead, and take calculated risks that multiply their results. Finally, prioritizing financial wins cultivates a habit of foresight. Every decision you make reinforces your mindset. Choosing a small investment over a momentary splurge strengthens discipline and reinforces the belief that wealth is built through consistent, smart actions. Over time, these choices compound, not just financially, but mentally. You start thinking like someone in control, someone who directs their money rather than being directed by it, and that mindset ultimately becomes the engine of long-term wealth creation. One of the most powerful tools for building wealth is something most people overlook: compound growth. It's not flashy, it doesn't make headlines, but over time, it quietly turns small actions into massive results. Compound growth works like this: the money you earn generates more money, and that new money earns even more, creating a snowball effect that accelerates over time. The earlier you start, the more powerful it becomes. Even modest investments, consistently applied, can grow into significant sums if given enough time. This is why waiting for the perfect moment or delaying investing because you think your contributions are too small is one of the biggest mistakes people make. Small, consistent contributions, combined with patience, often outperform sporadic, high-stakes moves made later in life. Understanding this principle changes how you view money entirely. You stop thinking in terms of short-term wins and start focusing on long-term growth, which is the foundation of real wealth. Smart risk is the other side of this coin. Compound growth works best when your money is actively working, and that sometimes requires taking calculated risks. This doesn't mean gambling or chasing high-risk investments blindly. It means educating yourself, diversifying intelligently, and allocating resources to opportunities that have a high probability of long-term success. Every investment has risk, but not all risks are equal. By choosing well-researched strategic options, whether in stocks, ETFs, real estate, or business ventures, you're positioning yourself to benefit from compounding while minimizing unnecessary losses. Risk becomes a tool rather than a threat, a way to accelerate growth instead of a gamble that can derail your progress. Combining compound growth with smart risk requires discipline and patience. It's easy to get caught up in short-term market swings, viral investment trends, or the fear of missing out. But those who understand compounding focus on consistent contributions and measured risk-taking, knowing that over years and decades, small, steady decisions outperform erratic, emotional ones. The key is to create systems where your money grows automatically, whether through recurring investments, reinvested dividends, or business profits. This approach turns wealth creation into a process that's largely independent of daily stress, allowing you to focus on other areas of life while your financial foundation strengthens quietly and steadily. Another advantage of leveraging compound growth and smart risk is that it builds confidence. When you see small investments grow over time, it reinforces the habit of taking intentional, informed action with your money. You stop relying on luck or hoping for sudden breakthroughs, and instead embrace a strategy that consistently produces results. Over time, this mindset compounds alongside your finances, shaping how you approach opportunities, manage challenges, and make decisions. Wealth becomes not just a number in an account, but a reflection of your discipline, strategy, and foresight. Finally, understanding and applying these principles changes everything about how you view financial freedom. Money stops being a finite resource to scramble for and starts being a tool that works for you. By combining the exponential power of compounding with smart, calculated risk, you create a system where wealth grows efficiently, predictably, and continuously, giving you the freedom to make choices, take opportunities, and build a life on your terms